Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kindly, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Drive like shit. Did you see the car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through, always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the car. It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you tap like a bitch. Though I ain't playing, I'm here to kick ass. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a punch like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive tip, bit his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Sweep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, his pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, his pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap, slap. Come get your face clapped.
hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
What's good, YouTube fam? Glad to have you today. I am your channel, Food for Justice, and today we have a quick show on the Unhinged top that actually arrests his own. Now, I do want to explain, sorry for the little echo in the background or getting some feedback. I am working on my cameras and I got some new equipment and so forth going on, so I ask that you please bear with me. But we're going to go ahead and get started on our content today. And I want you to check out this scene that is in Tallahassee, Florida County, the county of Tallahassee in the state of Florida. And tell me what you think about this scenario here where the officers actually arrest one of their own. Let's check this thing out.
Unbiased story. They also show you how other media outlets report on the story and where they are on the spectrum. When you use Straight Arrow News, you're not only supporting this channel, you're also supporting a group of journalists that are focused on searching the truth. Head on over to san.com/honest or click on my link in the description to start your bias reading journey today. Thanks again to Straight
News
Arrow
for sponsoring today's episode. On July 4th, 2024, Officer Duncan Koch of the Tallahassee Police Department pulled over 22-year-old Latina Washington for a suspected window tint violation. The interaction that followed was captured on officer body camera.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hello. Officer Koch, do you have your driver's license?
What happened?
Well,
Yeah.
your tint is illegal, so I want to test it and let you know for sure.
Oh, well, I'm not letting you test it, so you can write it. You can write it.
Okay. So you're not going to let me test your tint?
No, sir. You can go ahead and write the ticket. I'm not sure if I have it, and I don't just want to be fumbling around in it. But I do have my registration and everything.
You don't have your driver's license with you?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I want you all to check out what's going on. Keep in mind that this is a young lady who's a correctional officer. She works for the local prison right there in their county, that's Tallahassee, in the state of Florida, okay? And I see that Louis Vuitton bag, girl, yeah, I hooked Lena Bayberry up when she asked me for one. But, so what's going on is he's pulling her over for the tint of her windows. Now, as you continue to check out what's going on in the narrative or the storyline, you will see that, you know, she's very frustrated because basically her Dodge Charger Daytona has caused her a headache since she got it, a complete hassle, all behind her tent. You know what I'm saying? So she's being singled out, she's being targeted. And he just wants to test the officer reason for pulling her over is he wants to test out her tent to make sure it's legal. So let us continue to check out exactly what's going on in this stuff.
Where y'all headed?
I was going to get my baby sister.
Okay.
Hey, man, I got to get rid of this car. It's the car. It's always a problem. Like, I always think I'm a male. I'm not. Here we go, actually.
A male? I'm going to have to test your tent. I mean, I'd rather do that than have to take it further than that. So if you just roll it up a little.
Yes, sir. Let me call my daddy.
Once everyone gets overhead, we'll go through this breaking up that.
Okay. What are you calling him for?
Property.
You just said you could write the ticket.
So we can,
No, I have to test it to know where it's at.
Daddy, I done got pulled over. And his all the way black. Daddy, I just got pulled over. This officer literally waited. He literally went in a neighborhood to pull. Like he went in a
There's
neighborhood
nothing against I can't do that. That's fine. Please.
Now he's talking about my team, but I told him I don't want him to test my team. Just write the ticket.
Sir, if she doesn't let me test it, she'll go to jail. This is ridiculous. I'm just.
He said if I don't let him test my tent, then I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
But this man is literally targeting me. He literally purposely drove through a neighborhood. That's what I thought. I know you can't go to jail for.
Right now, she's resisting this investigation. So if she can't roll the window up,
You can't.
sir,
What?
You don't have to cooperate.
Daddy, can
Excuse
you
me?
please come here?
okay, you have
Where
to.
you at?
You have to
I'm at
cooperate.
the same store where I just got a gun pulled in me at. This man got me at the same spot where I just got a gun.
I'm really not trying to do this today.
Yes, sir.
Ask him, is that an order?
Yes, it's an order. It's a lawful order for you to roll your window up a little bit so I can test it. I'm not trying to do
But what
this.
if she don't want to let you test it?
Then
You
she'll be,
can't take her to jail,
then
man.
she'll be resisting the whole investigation.
That's not resistance.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is because you're not allowing me to do my job.
Okay, listen, she don't have to help you.
So the officer says that the young lady is not allowing him, her name is Tina. Tina is not allowing him to do his job because she's not complying with the investigation of testing the tint of her window. And so when they're questioning the officer about what violation, traffic violation, law, or crime is this committed in their state, in their county, he doesn't want to answer. So let's see how the officer chooses to handle this stop.
Do your job.
Yes, she does.
She don't have to help you investigate. Okay, take her to jail.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
a
just sue y'all.
lawsuit.
Do your job then.
It's not a
Do
lawsuit.
your job and we're gonna see.
Can I talk to you and not him, please?
He said he want to talk to me and not you, but I don't feel the need to talk to him
It
because
don't matter. You don't have to let
You
her
waited for me to pull out of that
That
neighborhood
doesn't
to get
matter.
behind
None
me,
of that
sir.
matters.
You literally did that.
Ma'am, if you just roll your window up a little bit, I'm going to test it, and then I'll let you know
No,
where
you
it's
don't. You
at.
don't have to cooperate.
Can you just write me the ticket, sir, and we could do it like that?
I need to know where it's at.
You can't write you a ticket if you can't test.
Exactly. So now you're
That's
making
why
my
you want
job
you to let you
impossible.
test.
That's the definition of resisting.
Officer
So we're gonna pause right there for 1 split second. And we see that she calls her father, Tina. And her father brings up a great point that the officer wants to test her window and the tint on it so he can give her a ticket. Because without him testing, he has no result to try to conduct a violation or some type of overbearing. So let's see how this continues to go down because basically as the correctional officer is standing her ground and exercising her rights and her power. Okay, constitutional amendment rights. And so therefore, she knows what to do and what not to do. But let's continue to watch to see how this results in her choosing to exercise her power and not allowing him to test the tint on her windows so he can freely give her a ticket.
Koch argues that Ms. Washington's actions in refusing to roll up her window so he could test the window tint constituted resisting because she was making it impossible for him to do his job. According to Section 843.02 of the Florida statutes, quote, whoever shall resist, obstruct, or oppose any officer in the lawful execution of any legal duty without offering or doing violence to the person of the officer shall be guilty of a misdemeanor of the first degree. In general, courts have determined that an individual can be convicted of so-called resisting under this statute if they refuse to comply with a police officer's lawful order. For instance, in the 2023 case of Senko versus Jackson, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Florida, held that officers had probable cause to arrest a citizen for resisting when he failed to comply with orders to stop his car and then refused to exit his vehicle when ordered to do so. In the 2017 case of U.S. versus Hawley, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals determined that because it was necessary to roll down a car window to complete tint testing, officers had the authority to require a driver to roll down his window to submit to testing. Well, given this precedent, it seems likely that a Florida court would also conclude that officers can lawfully order drivers to roll up their windows to comply with window tint testing. We will discuss the constitutionality of Officer Koch's order that Ms. Washington roll up her window at further length later in this episode, but for now, it is important to recognize that a court could conclude that Ms. Washington refused to comply with a lawful order in this situation and therefore committed the offense of resisting.
What if recording?
So he says that the court could actually violate her or charge her because she's refusing to comply. there in their county, Tallahassee. So let's continue to watch. And again, y'all please bear with me with the feedback. You know, I'm still working on this. So give me just 1 second.
High quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star was as simple as hitting.
All right.
So if you can just roll it up a little bit, I'll test it and let you know. If it's illegal, it's illegal. If it's good, I'm going to let you go. If it's illegal, I was thinking about just giving you a warning. You're making it really difficult, man.
Tell him call the sergeant. Tell him call the sergeant. I'm heading over there. Tell him call the sergeant.
Okay.
Right there on
Oh,
This
y'all.
same place where I just got a gun pulled at me at, Daddy. The same place I just got a gun pulled at me at. This store right here on Spring Hill in Springstead. You got a long way.
It don't matter. Tell him call the sergeant.
The driver's requesting a sergeant. They're being uncooperative with the
Calling the sergeant right now.
Okay, yeah, because he don't got to roll your window. I don't know what he's talking about. You don't got to help him with his investigation.
They literally targeted me that. He turned into a neighborhood and waited for me to pull out. Then I tell you too.
So just wait on the sergeant. We need to go.
All right. I told you, bro. They swear they gonna have a dope boy when I roll this window down.
747-201. Our driver's requesting a sergeant to the stop. So yeah, so when your tent is dark and an officer's telling you to roll the window up so that they can test it and tell you where it's at, and you refuse to do that, you're refusing to do something. Okay? So we'll just wait on the supervisor to get here.
Yes, sir.
Do y'all need a dog for that, or y'all good?
Oh, they can get the dog.
That's not what's not. That's not what this stop.
It's fine.
Checking the property.
So Tina feels targeted because she simply says she's constantly being watched, followed, pulled over. She had just got followed the night before and said that when they saw her uniform when she was a correctional officer, that they, you know, you come back and as you continue to watch, you'll see she says that. And so at this point, she's frustrated. Okay, that's what she's client. She's respectful to authority, to her superior, and she is exercising her rights in her power, the amendments. So let's just see what it's going to take us.
Now they worry about
Chick works for the Department of Corrections.
Yes, sir. 141.
Which one's she working? I don't know, but she ain't rolling her window down, so I can do a tent check. I told her it's illegal. Or roll it up, rather.
Oh, you took his deposition?
Just did. She said get a supervisor. So all right, we'll get a supervisor. She works at DFC. I'm trying to work with her, but
Contact with the 700 November.
Is he allowed to put his feet up?
put his feet where?
Put his feet up.
I don't care. Are you on your way to work?
No, sir, I'm not.
You on the way home from work?
Yes, she just came home from work and she picked me up from the
I'm just wondering because you're in a state of Florida.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'm an officer just like this.
Okay, so I was just asking if you're on the way or on the way home.
Tina makes it clear, I'm an officer just like you are. I work for the judicial system here in Tallahassee County, just like you do, for the state of Florida. I thought they had a loyalty code. Well, let's see how loyal this officer chooses to be. And if I've seen kind of all over, I have a different screen that I can view in the content on with you all.
Y'all probably would have been out of here by now if you had just complied. I'm just trying to.
My dad on the way in the sergeant.
Your dad? Well,
And the
who's your
sergeant,
dad?
It's fine. It doesn't matter who he is.
Exactly, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Just like
Governor or whatever. So
Right.
your dad coming doesn't. It's not going to stop me from doing my job.
yes, sir. It's not. That's understood.
The power game don't work with us.
Yes, sir. Understood.
We take an oath to do our job no matter what.
It's darker than mine.
So I got to stop right here. 2 key points, okay? 2 key factors. She said she called her father a young on the scene because her father is a sergeant of the local county jail, okay? Also, she said your tent on your car is darker than mine. So if it's illegal past the state limit, then what example are you setting? How you gonna give me a ticket for it if that's the case you need to find yourself? Okay, and then the officer wants to go on this power trip. Well, that's not gonna work with us. Your father being an officer or whatever his position is, it's not gonna stop me from doing my job. Her point is her father has a position. He is a sergeant there in the jail, in the judicial system, and he can also be called on the scene as his superior, as the local officer superior with no rank there in that county to help dictate and also the word is oversee what's going on and the codes that's in the process that's being taken or that's taking place.
Okay, well, I'm on this stuff right
We
now.
know, we know,
Not trying to be a jerk,
we
but
know.
at this point.
Because y'all swear I'm a DY. I swear to God, every day I get followed every single day because of this car. Every single day. Like last night, I got followed by two.
I was just stopping you because of the tent.
It's always something every single day.
Okay. Well, it's not me every day, so.
It's fine every single day.
Okay, but you can't blame me on
Every
that.
single day. It's the same thing, whether it's a TPD or
They said you were
I get
speeding last
followed.
time, so maybe that's why they stopped you. So you were
I
speeding.
wasn't speeding last time. I just got stopped yesterday. I didn't even get stopped. They followed me and then they see my uniform and backed off twice in the same night. So
I couldn't see your uniform because your tent is so dark.
it's okay.
Even if I did
You
see
never
it.
seen these windows up, sir?
Yes, I did.
Okay, the windows was literally down. We were sitting right there looking on our on our phone. Like down when she left my house.
Your window was up, sir.
What's your lady?
Where's he at? Sorry.
So yeah, like, oh man, you just trying to pick an argument at this point. Like, what are you trying to prove right here? I mean, you're saying that her window's down. The lady said, well, my window is down far set, but you can see me. You can see that I have on a uniform. You can see that I'm an officer and my position or what my career is. And you try to say that the young man on the passenger side window is up. Well, what difference does it make? His point.
Let him talk to him, explain it to them because they don't believe what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So you want to talk to her and explain what's going on? For the tent, and they're not letting me do my job.
So,
I'm not grabbing a gun. I'm grabbing my phone.
I don't think you're grabbing a gun. Are there any weapons in the car?
Please have a conversation with her. Thank you.
I can talk to you.
I'm not talking.
Real quick, she brings up, I got my cell phone. I'm not grabbing the gun. I don't think you're grabbing the gun. Well, we don't know that, so just to clarify, to be sure, she's well within her right to say, hey, I'm picking up my phone. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't see something that's not there. Okay, this is my phone and I'm making a call. I don't think he was grabbing the gun. I don't know that. I don't know what you think. There's too many people who had their phone in their hand, who had maybe a drink in their hand, a bag of chips, whatever, was accused of having a weapon falsely, and it cost them their lives. So she's being well over cooperative right now to let you know, hey, we can get to the bottom of this. We can push the sergeant to come. Her father's supposed to be on the way. She has relatives and family members in law enforcement as well to come back her up. And so therefore, she's just trying to make sure there's no misunderstanding and that she's all within her well right.
You're the one who's
Building here, you're anyone on perimeter. Break.
hold on, wait. If you see the tent way back there, you pull it off. You pull behind
You
us,
pulled
off
in
the
the
curb.
neighborhood.
Why the hell you wait all the way to the
Because he was trying to catch his speed and I wasn't. He needed a proper pause, that's all. Hello? Not from Annette, I can't hear. He still said the same thing about my tent and all this. And now he's saying that he couldn't see my uniform because my windows was up. But the windows was never up. Then that's when he was like that. He did see the windows. Because me and Caleb had sat at a stop sign for like 4 minutes. And I seen him like doing that. He just turned out into a neighborhood and was waiting for me to pull out. So by the time I pulled out, as soon as I pulled out, he jumped behind me. And I wasn't speeding. So he pulled me over like almost a mile later.
Just south of Bridge Road on Comfort.
Ma'am, also your rear is illegal, I can tell you.
And
So
now
it's
he's
not
saying
just,
what's illegal now?
the rear is too dark as well.
Now it's just the rear that's
No, this is too, and I'm about to show you when you should let me do my job. It doesn't have to be like this.
He said now the back window's too dark and all this. If he wanted
You know what referring to doing his job means? It means he has to meet quota. He has to meet quota stats. So many tickets that he writes and gives out per year, per season, his job is on the line. He might lose his job or lose rank or can't build rank into his career field. So that's what that means, having to do. His job is basically having to meet quota.
I need my other foot now. This excuse me.
He asked him, can he move his foot? All right, I see. Everything in this car, bro. I gotta get you a Honda.
If it is, I'll either write her a ticket or give her a warning. Usually I lean toward warnings, but right now she's not letting me do my job at all. So.
But I'm gonna get pulled because I'm in a Charger though.
No,
I always get pulled
that's not what
over
it
here.
is.
I'm in a Charger. They think I'm a D-boy. It's every day. It's every day.
He said it's just really because of the windows.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So the lady that is on the scene is her grandmother. Okay. She's saying, hey, they think I'm a D-boy. They think I'm a dope boy. That's the reason why I'm in a Charger, a Daytona. I'm, singled out and harassed and followed every single day. So she like, I'm out if I know what's up. She's trying to tell them, and then she turned around and also made the statement that like, hey, the cop made one statement. I have to go back and kind of rekindle that. But she basically answers his question.
You think that he pulled you over because it was you?
It's okay, and I honestly don't.
I couldn't see who was in the car. Look how dark the windows are.
My window was never up, sir. You keep saying that.
For all I knew, you were 80-year-old grandma. I had no idea.
My windows was never up.
I was surprised, but I figured you would let me go ahead and get you out of here.
Sergeant on the way?
Huh? He's on the way.
Oh. Do you know, they explained to you the illegal versus the legal tint level in the state of Florida?
28% if I didn't explain it.
This is the first time they tell you about the tint.
It is a law.
10.
We'll just hang out. I'll talk to the surgeon.
You're just upset right now.
So I stopped this vehicle for tint violation. I want to use my
Maybe you're going to work in a special day. Yeah, it's
she will not roll up the window.
Maybe you're working.
So now their sergeant has arrived on the scene. The officer sergeant for the police that station that he works for. I was trying to rebuttal what he had just said a minute ago, but it'll reiterate here in a few. And so her father, Tina, the young lady that's being pulled over in the Charger, is a sergeant as well. And he's supposed to be coming on the scene here shortly. So they can all resolve it and get to the bottom. But now that I think about it, to rekindle that, the officer said, well, I just want to test your window tint so I can give you a citation. All right, my thought came back to me. And so if that's the case, if you're going to give her a citation, just give her a citation. Why are you saying she's violating or refusing because she want to roll the window up or step out the car so you can test the tint? If you're going to give her a citation, just give her a citation. That's neither here nor there. If the tint is violating the state's law.
Explain to her she's not allowing me to do my job. She wants to speak to a sergeant. I defer to that. I want you to talk to her, explain the situation, but,
You can't really get.
I told her dad doesn't have any involvement in that.
Okay, ma'am. I see you're a correctional officer. If you get arrested, I'm pretty sure you won't be anymore. So here's the thing. For window tint, you have to roll the window up. It's a lawful command. If you fail to bail off command, you'll be arrested.
And I need to pull my window up.
Well, no, as a citizen, you need to do that. I'm just saying, you have a significantly more powerful consequence of getting arrested.
Sergeant Rudd arrives on the scene and informs Ms. Washington that she is refusing to comply with a lawful command by failing to roll up her window. As we have discussed many times before here on ATA, the Fourth Amendment prohibits so-called unreasonable searches and seizures. Now, while courts have typically concluded that looking through a window from a lawful vantage point does not constitute a Fourth Amendment search, they have generally held that an officer's physical intrusion into the interior of a vehicle through an open window or door constitutes a search under the Fourth Amendment. As such, it is likely that a court would conclude that both the use of a window tint meter and an order to roll up a window to comply with the test constitute warrantless so-called searches under the Fourth Amendment, given the so-called intrusion of the meter inside the vehicle. However, the Fourth Amendment does not prohibit all warrantless searches, only so-called unreasonable ones, and it is certainly possible that a court would conclude.
Let's reiterate that together. The Fourth Amendment does not prohibit all researches, but only unprivileged ones. Okay.
That the use of a window tint meter under these circumstances did not violate the Constitution. Under the so-called automobile exception to the Fourth Amendment's warrant requirement, if there is probable cause to search a vehicle, a warrantless search does not violate the Constitution. As the Supreme Court explained in the 1982 case of U.S. versus Ross, quote, "A search is not unreasonable if based on facts that would justify the issuance of a warrant, even though a warrant has not actually been obtained." Accordingly, although there is limited case law on the subject, courts have concluded that window tint testing does not violate the Fourth Amendment when the search is supported by probable cause. For instance,
window tint testing does not violate the Fourth Amendment and any other amendment as far as that goes. Now, I understand we have different state laws, okay? So each state has its own law, that plays into effect. But yeah, and that's unreasonable search. Unreasonable search. All right, let's continue to check them out.
In the 2014 case of U.S. versus Noble, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals determined that the warrantless use of a window tint meter did not violate the Fourth Amendment when the officer had probable cause to stop the vehicle for a potential window tint violation. Accordingly, it is probable that a court would conclude that the use of a window tint meter and the accompanying order to roll up the window did not violate the Constitution, despite it being a warrantless Fourth Amendment search, as long as the officers had probable cause to believe that the window tint was illegal. Section 316.2953 of the Florida statutes prohibits drivers from operating motor vehicles on public roads when the side windows are tinted so dark that they're not transparent. In the 2009.
So we just read that about the state of Florida. It prohibited when the side windows of the tent of the vehicle is so dark you cannot see through it. The side windows, okay? So that's driver's side, passenger side, forward, front, and back, backwards. All right, so that's the state of Florida's tint law, okay? As far as on your vehicle service. Let's continue to check it out.
Case of U.S. versus Leonard, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals determined that an officer had probable cause for a window tint violation when he noticed that the car window tint was so dark that he could not discern how many individuals were inside of the car. Well, according to an affidavit written by Officer Koch, quote, "I observed the front passenger window of the vehicle was heavily tinted to the degree that I was unable to see the silhouette of any occupant inside the vehicle. Based on my training and experience as a certified tint meter operator, it was my reasonable belief the vehicle's window tint was illegal in the state of Florida." Well,
so where did the officer just go wrong in this report? In this statement, this written statement, where did the officer just go wrong or have a mistake? Okay, let us look at it. It's just read Florida state laws. That is the side windows, passenger, driver, front, and back. The officer here makes a statement in writing. This is where he's incorrect at, saying that they have violated the laws. I observed the front passenger window of the vehicle was heavily tinted to the degree I was unable to see basically the passengers or who was inside the car. He said the front window. So this is where the officer has already made a mistake.
Given this testimony, it seems likely that a court would conclude that Officer Koch had probable cause to believe that Ms. Washington's window tint was illegal, and therefore that the order to roll up the window for tint testing was not a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
I understand. Most people don't.
That's why I called him out here, because I know that that's
Why would they tint windows too dark if they know you? Why would they sell you the car and they know the windows so you can get arrested?
it's not getting arrested for the tint. It's getting arrested for resistance. She's not complying.
Well, don't I have a right also?
Okay, so this is a must stop right there. First of all, as a car dealer, okay, as a car dealer, we're not going to sell a vehicle of anything that's illegal, okay, without the dealership being covered or being insured. That's almost like saying I'm going to sell a person a vehicle without a driver license, okay? As the dealership company and policies and guidelines, so they're going to cover themselves, automatically cover themselves, insure themselves, so they cannot come back and be legally or civilly sued. Okay, so that's step one. All right, and she just reiterated another statement. I kind of just want to briefly go back real quick. I kind of missed out, so we can hear what that was again.
The window for tint testing was not a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
I understand. Most people don't.
That's why I called him out here, because I know that that's
Why would they tint windows too dark if they know you? Why would they sell you the car and they know the windows so you can get arrested?
it's not getting arrested for the tint. It's getting arrested for resistance. She's not complying.
Bam, right there. So officer 2 or 3 that's behind Officer Cope, the officer that pulled her over, the leading officer, he said she's not getting arrested for the tint, or even if the tint is violating the state law of being too dark, however the percentage that may be, but it's resisting their orders of not complying to allowing them to test it. But we just read in the Fourth Amendment that through that, in the state of Florida, she has not violated any policies, and she has a right to not do so according to the Fourth Amendment law. So she's actually exercising her power, which shows what? It shows intimidation to law enforcement. When you know the law, when you know your rights, when you exercise and dare use your power, they are intimidated. Let's continue to watch.
Well, don't I have a right also, right? I have a right to not terminate myself, right? Yes, sir.
Not what?
I plead the fifth. I don't want to get my test tested.
That's
right?
no, that's not an option. By driving, you forfeit certain rights. I.e., you can't say when you pull you over for a traffic violation, say you're speeding. You can't say I'm not giving you a driver's license, because once you drive, you basically have implied consent that I agree to the rules.
But he got the driver's license. She didn't say nothing about the driver's license.
That's not even the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's a traffic violation.
Well, Tina, they just want to test it.
That's not possible.
They just want to test your tent, baby. Just let them test it.
Worst case
And
scenario,
then
the
deal
tent.
with it later.
Yeah, the tent's a ticket.
At the worst.
Yeah, you don't want a ticket.
You don't get arrested for that.
But you already.
However, failure to bail lawful demand is a chargeable offense in the state of Florida.
Yeah, he's going to give you a warning, so just let him test it. Tina.
No, we're not doing a warning now.
What is
Now, if it's a violation, then it's a ticket. But if it's not a violation, then it's.
But she is running out of chances, because we cannot sit here all day and wait for her to
deal with
make.
the ticket you can.
Okay, so one quick thing. Grandmother is just trying to keep the peace and, well, girl, just go ahead and do what they say do, or just, so you can go on about your day. Grandmother does not know the law and does not know her rights, okay? Tina is exercising, and she's very well in her God-given right, her God-given duty to do so, okay? And at this point, the officer is willing to intimidate her about, like, he ain't got all day to wait on your father to come, who's a sergeant, and if you, and basically making up laws, making up rules. If you don't do what I say do, then you have committed a crime, or you have violated some type of traffic law. Well, what code is that written in what state of America? Okay, please let me know. So let's continue, because at this point we see Officer Coke is creating his own rules and his own law.
Taking child to court. Yes, absolutely.
But Tina, let them go ahead and test it. So you'll know what you're dealing with.
You can always fight it, you know.
Yep.
But you probably have to get a lawyer.
Ma'am, I've explained the situation to you quite clearly. I've explained that this is a lawful command. I explained that failing to be a lawful command will lead to your arrest. So, one more time, are you going to roll the window up so you can test it, or are you going to get arrested? Yes, I am.
Tina, who are you talking to? I'm her grandmother.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, who are you
That's
talking
fine.
to? Who are you asking?
Ma'am, I will give you 30 seconds to make her to either get arrested or make a decision.
Tina, who are you talking?
25 seconds. 20 seconds.
Roll your window up and let them do their job.
Listen, for resisting, listen.
It's not a plane.
Don't do all. Listen, don't ruin your career over a window sent. Please don't do that.
Listen,
5 seconds.
Okay, go get it.
So I have to stop right there. Don't ruin your career for exercising your rights and your power. Are you serious, dude? And you're an African American man. And so, but it looks like you are Uncle Tom, because you know, you should know better, and you do know better, and that you should be encouraging this young lady who is a correctional officer for your local county jail there to exercise her rights, to know her rights, to stand firm on her power. She's done nothing, but no crime is being committed. This woman is minding her business, just getting off work, and you are getting the fact or even come up with the idea that she can lose her career is ludicrous.
Go get it. Go get what? Go get it.
He has it right here. Roll your window.
You have to roll the window up, man.
Here's the meter. If you roll it up, I want to test it.
All right.
Roll it up to here. I want to test it if you roll it up.
All right, no, this is
I'm going to roll it up.
Roll it up, roll in. Roll it up.
Okay.
Last chance, roll it up. Roll it up and go to jail. Take her to jail. All right, we're done with this.
Roll up the window or go to jail. What crime is that? Roll up your window in your part of the bus. That's yours, that you spend your hard working money on, or go to jail. Are you serious, dude? Officer Coke? Are we serious right now? Let's see how this is going to go down.
You're under arrest. You're under arrest, ma'am. Again, had she rolled the window up, this would have. I don't win.
I was trying to talk. I was trying to talk. I was trying to talk.
Really? I'll explain to you.
Y'all got other stuff y'all could be doing right now.
Okay.
Y'all snatched this woman up out her car, using unnecessary force, physical force, because she went roll up her window and bow down to your commands. Like you laid on your back and brought this girl into the world. She's a child, and she's not your child. So she don't have to do anything you say, as long as she's abiding by the law of the land, and she's not committing any crime. There is an unnecessary arrest, totally uncalled for arrest of your own kind, your own people, a correctional officer. Let's continue to watch.
Let's go to that side.
We don't know if everybody's ready for the table.
Stay out here. Do you have anything on you?
No, I don't.
Makes no sense. I agree with you. I agree that this makes no sense at this point. But you push it this far instead of just rolling the window down.
So here's the thing. I've been standing here for the past 3 minutes. Explain to her, look, you have to roll the window up to test for the tent. That's once you start driving a car, there's certain things you agree to by driving the car. That's one of them. It's like if we pull you over and you got to present your driver's license. It's not an option.
You don't have to roll it down. It's a Fifth Amendment right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Two unidentified individuals who appeared to be acquainted with Ms. Washington arrive on the scene just before Ms. Washington is placed under arrest. After Ms. Washington was handcuffed, one of them argues that Ms. Washington has a Fifth Amendment right to refuse to roll up her window.
Okay, so this is where the young brother got slightly confused over. He was incorrect in that era. It's not her Fifth Amendment right, it's her Fourth Amendment right. Okay, her Fourth Amendment right. I guess her people's pulled on up. I don't think her father ever made it in time, but her folks came up on the scene, and again, because she wouldn't abide by your order and what you wanted her to do. Now she's violated a law and she has committed a crime. And this woman, when you ran her name and a background, she has a split record, and she is an employee for the local county jail there, and she is a correctional officer. Actually for the prison there, and her occupation is she's a correctional officer for the local state prison in their county.
Fifth Amendment states that, quote, no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. However, courts have consistently held that the Fifth Amendment only applies to testimonial or communicative incriminating evidence, not requirements to produce physical evidence. As the Supreme Court explained in the 1966 case of Schmerber versus California, the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, now quoting, protects an accused only from being compelled to testify against himself, or otherwise provide the state with evidence of a testimonial or communicative nature. Now, applying this principle, the court determined that the non-consensual taking of a blood sample from an individual suspected of driving under the influence did not violate the Fifth Amendment, as it did not involve compulsion regarding testimonial or communicative evidence. In reaching this conclusion, the court noted that although the state did compel the individual, quote, to submit to an attempt to discover evidence that might be used to prosecute him for a criminal offense, compulsion that, now quoting again, makes a suspect the source of real or physical evidence does not violate the Fifth Amendment. For this reason, as the court further summarized in the Schmerber case, quote, both federal and state courts have usually held that it offers no protection against compulsion to submit to fingerprinting, photographing, or measurements, to write or speak for identification, to appear in court, to stand, to assume a stance, to walk, or to make a particular gesture. Accordingly, because the submission to window tint testing involves the collection of physical evidence and does not require the suspect to provide testimonial or communicative evidence, it is probable that a court would conclude that the Fifth Amendment does not protect drivers from compelled window tint tests.
Excuse me, rolling the window up halfway so I could test that.
Okay, yes, sir.
And then you would have been
Okay.
like, I don't get it.
What you're under arrest for right now is resisting arrest, failure to bail off of a man. Roll the window up so we can test it. Because we believe that it's
so
down
listen,
the
that's my whole thing, right? If you're not going to give a warning, right? What's the point of testing the warning? You giving her a warning.
We're not giving her a warning. We told her we weren't giving her a warning. After the fact. Originally it was. Yeah, roll the window up. No issue, no issue.
If you roll it up a little bit, I test it. I give you a warning, get you out of here. She said, no, that ain't happening. She went to calling 30 people. Grandma showed her. I explained to Grandma. Grandma said, just do it, baby. Just roll it up.
Okay, so listen, y'all got people out here killing people. Y'all ain't taking them to jail, but y'all arrested about a window tint. Man, come on, man.
No.
We're not pulling a gun on you. We're trying to just do our job. It has nothing to do with us. Sorry that happened.
I'm just stepping out so you can dig in my pants.
Okay. You have anything sharp on you? Ma'am, where do you work, ma'am? Which one? Liberty?
Roll the window up and what?
We got to test the window. The whole reason for the traffic stop was the tint. So we're still going to do that. And she's still going to get a ticket for that if it's in violation. Yes, I know, but we still have to test the tint.
Okay,
so just give her a ticket and let her go.
I'm tired of trying to explain this to folks.
It's a lawsuit.
Do you have anything else on you? Check your
I have nothing.
We have to check. Is that your boyfriend or something? Is that your boyfriend in the car? All right, I'll have you sit down in my car for a second, okay? Go ahead and put your foot in. I'll get them for you. I gotta do it. Are you on the course?
I'm finna, never mind.
5%.
Okay.
It's illegal.
Okay, we already, okay, we know that. Okay, bro, you don't have to keep on it. Okay, we know.
All right, write the ticket. You can turn the car off now, man. Thanks.
He gave him a lawful command to roll the window up.
Yes.
Not roll the window.
He's confused. You want us to take her to jail?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was telling him.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
She's been searched, so we'll go ahead and take her.
Go ahead and take her. Yes, and write her the ticket for the 10th violation. Is she good with him taking the car? Is she good with him taking the car?
She has some shoes in the car.
She wants her shoes out of the car.
Ms. Washington was transported to the Leon County Detention Facility for processing. She was issued a citation for the window tint violation and charged with 1 count of resisting without violence. Following the arrest, Sergeant Rudd also made sure to call the detention center Ms. Washington works at to report that she had been arrested.
This is Sergeant Rudd, Tallahassee Police Department. We just arrested one of your correctional officers.
Sergeant Rudd?
Yes, sir. RUDD.
Okay. Y'all pressing charges on her?
Yeah, it's she's getting arrested for resisting without violence.
Okay, hang on just a second. Let me write this down.
All right. She got pulled over for a window tint violation, and she wouldn't roll her window up so we could test it. And after 25 minutes of trying to convince her that just roll the window up so we can test it and you can be on your way with, at worst, a ticket, she refused to comply. At that point, we gave her the option, like, all right, you can either roll the window up and let us test it, or we can arrest you and then roll the window up and test it. And she went with, she didn't want to roll the window up, so we arrested her and we tested the window, and it wasn't legal tint. But so she's getting a ticket and charged with resisting arrest.
Okay. So they would not cooperate with a.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Window tint check, basically.
That's it.
However, on July 26, 2024, the assistant state attorney decided not to pursue the charge and filed a so-called no information, indicating that although there was probable cause to stop and test the tint on the vehicle, the state would not seek further prosecution on the matter. As of the date of writing this episode, Ms. Washington has not yet paid the window tint fine. Overall, the Tallahassee officers get a B because, based on the existing legal precedent, it is likely that a court would find that they had at least arguable probable cause to arrest Ms. Washington, and they mostly maintain professional demeanors throughout the encounter. Although I would have liked to see this situation resolved without the officers resorting to a custodial arrest, such as by issuing a citation without completing tint testing, the officers did give Ms. Washington ample opportunity to comply with the order to roll up her window and submit to tint testing, and afforded her many chances to change her mind before arresting her. And while there is limited case law available about window tint testing, considering the clear precedent regarding the authority that officers have to conduct vehicle searches based on probable cause and the limitation of the Fifth Amendment's protections to communicative evidence, I believe it is likely that a court would find that the officers' actions were constitutional in this situation. Ms. Washington gets a B- because although she remained relatively calm and respectful throughout the encounter, it is probable that a court would conclude that the officers were within their authority to require her to roll up her window for window tint testing, and she could have saved everyone involved in this encounter, including herself, a lot of time and trouble if she had simply complied. That being said, I do admire Ms. Washington's fortitude and respect her desire to stand up for her rights. However, in this situation, I do not believe that courts would agree with her that she had the right to refuse window testing, and if she had voiced her objections and still complied complied with the order, she could have contested the validity of the search after the fact without getting arrested. I would encourage Ms. Washington to learn more about the limitations on her constitutional rights so she can avoid future incidents like this. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for
All right, man. Shout out to Audit the Audit. Thank you so much. But yeah, man, what do you think? Do you think that she set the correct example as an officer, exercising her rights, using her legal power? Or do you believe that she was being extra? She should have just complied, and she brought this trouble and problems upon herself. So you be the judge. You know, I want to know, what do you think about the overall situation and narrative here in this situation, in the story? You know, do you feel like she should have done like her grandmother said and just, hey, just do what they want you to do to avoid trouble, to prevent going to jail? You have a career on the line to think about, so forth and so on. So I just would love to hear you all's thoughts, comments, and opinions. And we always here at School for Justice to love, live, build, grow, and laugh. And until next time, you all take care, be easy as one, and peace.
That's if they really find something.
They say I'm a big dog, I make all my niggas better. I feel like I'm Chris Paul. I serve all the peers, cocaine, don't need no fentanyl. He faking this persona for the bitches, call him Rick Ross. While I fuck on your bitch right by the door, I told her get lost. I see cash up in my sleep like Trader Visionary. I keep sticks up on my side, got more than the military. Got up in that pussy, leave it creamy, Ben and Jerry's. Take off like a jet, I'm feeling like I'm Jason Terry. These niggas hate it, but these bitches love the way I'm shining though. I might get 100 years if the